Hello, you're welcome to Now Sports Extra right here on Radio Now 95.3 FM Lagos. The dust looks to have finally settled on Euro 2020. But then, of course, England cannot just stop being in the news, obviously for wrong reasons, because UEFA has continued to slam charges and disciplinary actions are hanging in the air over that country to add more woes to the fact that they lost out in the final of that epic battle between the Romans coming from the Italians. But at the end of the day, they'll take it on the chin and move ahead with it. But they need to learn the lessons of all the violence that took place before, during, and after that final. Okay, we're just going to leave the ghost of Euro 2020 to rest finally. But then, of course, we can't let it rest because there's also discussions about Ballon d'Or up already. Is there anybody among those who participated at the Euro 2020 capable of upsetting the apple cards once again, just like we saw with Luka Modric the other time? Only time will tell. Lionel Messi keeps racking up the statistics, and of course, aside from club football that was not as prolific as it normally is, if you look at the Copa America, you want to say he's a very, very good contender for the Ballon d'Or again this year. Okay, my name is Niran Adesanya. We're going to be talking a lot about club football right now, and this is where Daniel is always very excited, and definitely we're going to be taking a look at things happening as we gradually move to the Olympics, and then in August we will start club football with some of the best leagues in the world resuming for the new season. I've got with me in the studio, let me not make that mistake she says I always make for a while, talking about ladies first, the prolific and sizzling one, Susan Omokbeloye joins in. Mischief maker, the troublemaker, everything you want to call her. She
Ladies
is.
First after men, so you can allow.
We have given you the first honor. Just take it and say hello. Then,
okay,
Nero,
for this
how
week,
are you doing?
Next week you can resume to Sato school. Okay, but like you mentioned, it's the Euro 2020 and Copa America not going away anytime soon. But you mentioned Messi getting statistics in for him to get the Ballon d'Or. Maybe not, because it's for a whole year, and if for a whole year Copa America is what will be used to judge, then that will be a lot of sentimental judgment in that one. So it's for a year in review. And
when we get to the discussion segment, I'm going to ask you, who do you think is heads and shoulders? Because at the end of the day, it's all about, if you're going to topple Ronaldo and Messi, you need to be definitely exceptional. And I have not seen any single player that is exceptional for a whole year.
Maybe they go check up on any of the players that won the Champions League.
I think the only person for me who is capable of getting it is actually Jorginho. But has he been a standout player?
Well,
I wouldn't say so.
I really do not think so. I do not think he's been a standout player.
Yeah, but when it comes to achievement in the year, he's number one. He
definitely has scored that, but I don't think so.
Okay, we also have the Double D himself with us in the studio. He can't wait to actually jump on Susan's analysis there, and I'm sure he has his own views, and I love it when the two of them come face to face. Daniel Akins, good evening. Nice to have you as well.
Yeah, good evening, Nero. Excited to be on the show this beautiful evening, right? It's been a rainy day, but of course we have to bring that energy on the show. Yeah, talking about who deserves to win the Ballon d'Or or not. I do not know why a certain Jorginho is being mentioned. I do not.
Really?
Yes, I do not know why.
Because a good season.
Okay, tell me who you think in the Euro 2020 that has a standing chance to actually topple Ronaldo or Messi, because they would always be considered.
The thing is, the Ballon d'Or is not just about the Euros, right?
Every time there is a major competition, that competition takes precedence over the league, and that's just a fact.
Yeah,
and that's why Luka Modric
maybe in a
was
way
able to win the Euros.
Maybe in a way, but I do not think Jorginho has been that sort of standout player. If you ask me, if you want to look at it just from the competition itself, I think someone like a Raheem Sterling. I think someone like Raheem Sterling or Federico Chiesa, who's had a very, very fantastic, who had a fantastic time for Juventus in the league.
Can I ask you a question?
A very interesting time.
Can I ask you a question?
Performance wise, I know that
tournaments.
I know that when you bring in statistics, I know statistics do not favor players like Chiesa and co.
Okay.
But the truth is, in terms of performance, I do not. That's why I don't think made it into the team.
You know what I'm going to do
of the tournament.
You know what I'm going to do.
He did not make it into the team of the tournament.
I think Jorginho did.
He did not. I think he did.
I think he did.
I think the midfield was. I think it was Pogba
Pogba what?
Pogba made it into the team of the Euros.
Ahead of Jorginho. How?
Jorginho made it into
How?
the team.
I'm gonna.
Can I ask you a question? Do you know that one of the very few players in the Italian squad that played every single game and played almost every single minute was Jorginho? So I don't understand what you're saying.
That's not my issue. But of course, I did not want to argue. Let's get into the show. When we get to the discussion.
I already love this discussion.
When we get to the discussion.
I already love this discussion.
You know that I always like to bring on.
And for your information, he won the Champions League.
But anyways, you know I always
played a crucial role.
Yeah,
Scored the winning penalty for England against England as well.
But of course, you know, as I like to bring in club football into things.
You know, you're always a very controversial person.
Yeah, you know, one thing that
are you saving us some Arsenal story for now?
I just want two stories really. Arsenal, we know they played the friendly yesterday. They got beat. They got beat. So
we talked about that all day.
No, we didn't even talk about it today.
Oh,
right. And then PSG played the friendly in the early hours of today. They defeated Le Mans by 4 goals to
That's what we should be talking about.
Right? That's what we should be talking about. Honestly.
Well, Mario Icardi are getting
don't worry, we will talk about that.
Simons, that guy from Barcelona who is now with PSG, is a really, really bright prospect. A lot of people have said that he might be the next Messi. Who knows? But yes, he also got a goal as well.
Okay, Daniel trying to bring Arsenal into discussions after they lost yesterday. Please. They lost in the afternoon, and he's bringing it back again
something
on Wednesday,
that is still
Wednesday evening. Anyways, he just can't get his hands out of Arsenal. Anyways, let's go straight to the update segment of the show and, of course, bring up the stories making the rounds. First up, from the home front, the second batch of Team Nigeria's contingent to the 2020 Olympic Games departed Nigeria yesterday for the team's pre-games training camp in Kisarazu, Japan. And, of course, already members of the first batch are there. And top amongst them is former flag bearer and team Nigeria lead, co-team leader as well in the past, talking about Funke Oshonaike, who is making a record appearance. And of course, she is probably she's going to equal the record set by another table tennis player much earlier, talking about Segun Toriola. And this time around, Funke Oshonaike will be making her 7th appearance at the Olympic Games, and that is an absolute record, the most by a female athlete. And of course, that's from Nigerian point of view. And the media gathered that the team, which comprises 22 athletes and 20 officials, left the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, yesterday around 12:50 p.m. And the contingent has competitors from athletics, taekwondo, wrestling, including their coaches and officials as well. We wish them the best of luck. And straight off to wrestling now, where the World and Commonwealth Games gold medalist Odonya Adekuroyi and 10-time African champion Blessing Oborodudu have been seated number 2 in their women's wrestling events at the Tokyo Olympic Games in Japan. That is good news for Nigeria because it means there are some early rounds of the wrestling contest in their categories that they will be exempted from taking part in because they are number 2. Poland Open gold medalist Adekuroyi will be competing with 15 others in the 57 kg. And she is rated number 2 among the competitors in Tokyo. The Ondo State-born athlete will be facing familiar foes in Japan's Risako Kawai, rated number 1, as well as Belarus's Iriana Kurachkina, as well as China's Naning Rong, who are seeded 3rd and 4th. So it is a very strong cast of wrestlers. The other fierce competitors for the Nigerian include Rio 2016 gold medalist Helen Maroulis of the United States, who she actually defeated in the Poland Open. So looking forward to Adekuroyi taking on everybody. She says the pressure is not on her. She's just going there to do her own thing. And in basketball, after 2 outstanding results against the world number 1 and world number 4, talking about United States of America and Argentina, Nigeria's men's basketball team, the Tigers, fell yesterday to another highly rated Australia, 108-69. In fact, Nigeria just avoided their scoreline being doubled there by the Australians. Of course, the Australians won the 3rd game in a row at the Las Vegas exhibition series on Wednesday as both teams continue their preparation for the Olympic Games. The loss is Mike Brown's first since taking over as the head coach of the Tigers in 2020. The efficient Aussies displayed grit and technical prowess as they swept the Tigers apart in the first quarter, taking a 13-point lead to end 26-13. The 3rd-ranked nation in the world continued their dominance in the second quarter, ending with a comfortable 20 points lead at the end of it all. It was 49-29. And I must say, Susan, this is Nigeria being brought back to earth after those upsets we recorded against United States and Argentina. I think for me, it is a good one for us if we lose stuff like this once in a while.
You know, I mentioned, I said we were up to the 7-7 before we were brought back to reality and brought back to Mother Earth. But it's
good for us.
Yeah, it's
so
good.
That we don't
it's
have
a reality
one sort
check.
of
it's a reality check for the
high hopes,
team.
and I think that we are there already.
Yes, you know, we mentioned that it's an exhibition and you can always chop and change your team. And good for Mike Brown, he was able to make a lot of changes. I mean, the second game, he made about 3 changes from the first starting lineup. So it's just a matter of looking up for where your loopholes are, how you can improve on the team, how you can improve on your lapses. So I think it's a good one that they've been able to win 2 against the big teams, ranked first and ranked 4th team, but they can't go away with doing 3 at a time. Twice, yes, you might say that doesn't stop.
That would have been crazy. I mean, it would mean you beating 3 out of the top 4 teams in the world, and that would have been absolutely crazy. I don't know what Daniel's thoughts are, but for me, it's a blessing.
I mean, it's a blessing. I think
it
gives us the chance to go back to the drawing boards and just fix just little.
Which is what the Australians said they did. They said they watched Nigeria's 2 other games.
That's one thing that I'm actually also worried about. Like, if Coach Mike Brown has set up the team in such a way that it was able to get over the United States team and the Argentine team, and you have a coach just watch just one game and figures out
2 games.
Yeah,
he watched 2 games.
In 2 games, he's able to figure out how to overcome how you set up that team.
It also means Mike Brown
in a way, we should be sort of worried. Not worried in a bad way, but
they also have weaknesses as well.
I mean, come on, we know that. We just worried in the sense that, I mean, anybody can figure us out. Of course,
and we can also figure anybody out.
Well, that's if
we can figure the best team in the world out.
That's if we take the initiative. Obviously.
Are you kidding me? We've already done that by beating the world best team.
The D Tigers don't.
No, I know. I'm just saying that everybody can figure everybody out. That's just what it is.
And that's a wake-up call for Mike Brown also to also set up some other strategy. So have a plan B if your plan is not working.
Which is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Anyways, let's go on to Champions League football now, where reports coming in from the West African Football Union headquarters in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, has it that the inaugural edition of the Women's CAF Champions League has definitely been postponed. The announcement came on Tuesday after most of the participating teams are battling with financial issues, among other complaints. The competition, which was initially slated to kick off on Saturday, 17th of July, will no longer take place then. Now we're told that it will now start a week later on the 24th. I'm not sure how much money they will be able to raise in a week, but then I don't want to think it's just about the financial situation of the clubs, because we know that one of Nigeria's opponents, Hasakas, has complained bitterly about the fact that they may not have enough funds to actually prosecute that competition. Not something we're looking forward to.
It's one of the biggest worries
for them. Actually,
it's one of the biggest worries for them and for CAF itself. You know, it's
but you would expect the FA of those countries to actually come to the rescue of the clubs.
Well, you know what? This is what I will always say, that CAF competitions don't really get in that much prize money for clubs that are to cushion themselves. Even for the male category, they don't get that much money. So we are talking about the female league, that even the NWFL.
What do the North African teams do? They do well every year. They come out and they excel in CAF competitions.
For the men category, they've got a
has never been in force
for the men's. Exactly what I'm saying. This is the maiden edition for the women, so you have to do a lot in terms of supporting them
to support them.
Like for Rivers Angels now,
I'm very sure
they don't have a problem, but you can't say that for other countries as well. Yes, Rivers might not have a problem because they've got sports-loving governor that always support them. But look at the league itself. They didn't get a prize money for the NWFL that just got concluded. So
they did get prize money, but it was a very paltry amount of money.
They've not been paid the prize money. Which prize money?
But there was a prize money announced.
You're going to Fakano Pillars won FA Cup 2
years. No, but the NWFL is different from NPFL.
We're just talking about
the money might not be much, but they get it. I think it's about
they got money in NWFL.
500,000, which is not even able to cover
the cost. It was more than 500. I think the winner got 1.5, and then the second got 1 million.
1 million. It's not even able to cushion.
I understand what you're saying.
So I think,
but I'm saying let's take away NWFL away from NPFL.
Now it's a government-owned club, so Rivers will be able to finance themselves. But for other clubs that are owned by private owners, they might not be able to finance themselves because it's a whole lot.
So why
going for Oman, although they are playing it in somewhat like a bubble, but welfare also should be considered another logistics.
Anyways, we'll be waiting to see what happens. Maybe CAF it's time for CAF to say, you know what, those who have qualified will be giving you some participation fee.
That's
so
what
that
they're supposed to do. You know, when COVID started,
it's a first edition, and we're just coming out of
them
COVID
some
as well.
fund that, okay, use this to cushion development.
So whatever happened to that
football.
money that was actually shared across federations who are affiliated to FIFA to help women's football, men's football,
because
all these
FIFA
things.
stated it. They stated it that give this.
So what happened to the one that
it?
was meant to be shared to women's football, which obviously should have been used to support
we need
teams
to
representing countries.
It's not about
the NFF.
It's the NFF.
It's about the other FA the other FAs as well. I mean,
it's not about
for
NFF.
me,
it went directly to NFF.
So what happened to
NFF
GFA, for
that was
instance?
sharing
What
the
happened to
money.
GFA, for instance? GFA also got money from CAF and FIFA. What did they use the one meant for women's football for?
Well, you have to ask the GFA. But anyways, in my opinion, I think generally for women's football, I think it's about time that we stop making the excuses, right? A lot of people will say, I mean, Susan, I think it was Francesca that was arguing early this morning that why would you host a competition like this if you know you cannot sustain it, instead of having this postponed, because we've been hearing postponement for a while now. So I think it's about time we start making those excuses, right? If you do not get,
I said it at the time,
going,
and everybody said it's the first edition. So they're trying to
if you don't get it going, it never get going. In Europe, we've seen women's champions. We see how big it is. I watched the women's Champions League.
Yeah,
I know, but we see how big it is now. It's because they went through
and
the
their
stages.
money is still not as much as what they get.
It's not as much, but I enjoy it. I sit down to watch Rosenberg play the likes of Barcelona, right?
And you watch Lyon as well.
And we watch Lyon and we watch PSG. But the fact is that they went through the grind. So if we do not go through all these stages to realize the loopholes, try and I think it's also a case of different FAs refitting, their funds, diverting funds towards women's football, prioritizing women's football more. But the thing is, if you don't have these competitions coming in a regular calendar year, they won't prioritize this thing. So right now, it might be a case.
We have had leagues running in this country, women's league running in this country. It has not been prioritized.
We are not hearing any problem.
It has not been prioritized.
We're not hearing.
That is because the River State government, just like Susan said, and yet some wiki is heavily behind that team. Remember that they actually donated a 24-seater. It's a luxurious bus to the men's, and they actually gave them a smaller bus, and he actually ordered the people in charge to give them the same quality of bus as Rivers United, and it was actually and at the end of the day it was done. Anyways, let's move on to the ITO Cup. And
one thing that needs to do better, and I'm going to say it ahead of the next season of the NWFL, Abia Angels. Abia
what is Abia Angels? What is your problem?
I cannot get the picture of that red bus where I saw female players seated on top of the bus to go for a match. I cannot get that picture.
It just reminds you of
Warriors. They've not got
the new season.
Their players have not got. They've not gotten their salary.
You are talking about boss. Anyways, let's go to ITO Cup quickly now. Bayelsa United through to the quarterfinals. Of course, they defeated Lobby Stars. Fellow Bayelsa, interestingly, they defeated Lobby Stars 2-0, and Green Beret and Sunshine Stars. Of course, at the end of the day, Green Beret showed the reason why they've gone this far. They pushed Sunshine all the way, playing a goalless in full time. But on penalties, they lost 4-5 to the Akure Warlords. And of course, Abia Warriors surprisingly lost to lowly rated Niger Tornadoes 2-3. Plateau United also lost to Nasarawa. Nasarawa really showing good stuff, beating Plateau United 3-1. And then, of course, we're talking about another big one, Kano Pillars, showing the stuff they are made of, beating Kebi 3-2 on penalties at the end of it all. And then, of course, the officials of Kano Pillars spoke at the end of the game.
Today's match it was a very difficult match, because whenever you are playing a Federation Cup with the underdogs team, so you get if you not be careful, you get it difficult. But we thank Almighty Allah, we get through to the quarterfinal, and the team that we are playing is the premier team. So we know them recently. We lost 1-0 against at their home. So by the grace of God, this time around we are going to revenge, and we'll go to semi-final to tight our bet to see Pillars are through in the semi-final.
Okay, and of course, that was Ibrahim Musa of Kano Pillars. And then, of course, for Heartland, they lost against Rivers United. Rivers really doing well and showing consistency. Stanley Aguma talks about that game.
Well, it was a good game. It's a ITO Cup match. It's a game of surprises. But fortunately enough, two Premiership teams playing today. we know ourselves very well, and the game lived up to its billing. We actually prepared for this game for Victor win because we knew that it was either win or nothing. So, and when we scored the first goal, we tried as much as possible to, consolidate. But along the line, second half, we considered the equalizer. I think at that point in time, we had to re-strategize to ensure that, we pick the 3 maximum points.
Of course, they claimed the maximum points. Not that the points matter. It was actually the goals that matter in this one. 3 points is not going anybody, but I guess Eguma is just used to the NPFL so much that he forgot that points don't count when it comes to the ITO Cup. And then, of course, the last fixture also ended in goalless in full time, but it saw a lower-ranked Gateway United beat NPFL side Ricky Tourist 4-3 on penalties at the end of it all. So quarterfinalists have emerged. Onto the foreign scene now, where Manchester United striker Marcus Rashford may not play until the end of October. That would be like about 2 months or 3 months after the league starts. That due to the fact that he has decided to have surgery on his shoulder injury. 23-year-old Rashford had a scan on Tuesday after being hampered by the problem in the latter half of the 2020-2021 season. Probably one of the reasons why he didn't start a lot of the games for England at the Euros as well. However, the surgeon is not available until the end of July. It is anticipated that Rashford will be out for 12 weeks, which will be a blow to United's boss Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his plans for the start of the new campaign. And England winger Jaden Sancho has had a medical as his £73 million move to Manchester United from Borussia Dortmund edges closer. He's going to form part of the discussion on our show this evening. We want you guys to tell us if he is the fix or quick fix for Manchester United's problem. I don't think United have so much of a problem. I mean, if you finish second in the Premier League, which is probably the most keenly contested Premier League in the world, I dare say, I think you have really done well. Okay? And of course, we'll see how things go. We'll talk about that when we get to the discussion segment of the show. For now, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Don Redo, better itself. Now 10 gigabyte data just land my Airtel so. Guess how much? 3,000 naira. 3K better for 10 gigabyte data. You shock, Abi? Make I add extra shock. 5,000 naira go give you 20 gigabyte data. Now so me for shock.
That's right. With Airtel data, just a little more gets you so much more. Introducing Airtel More for More data plans, like 10 gigabytes for just 3,000 naira and 20 gigabytes for 5,000 naira.
Dial *141# today to experience the network with the widest 4G coverage.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Stay connected to Radio Now on the air on 95.3 FM Lagos and online on www.thisisradionow.com.
With Airtel Home Broadband device, your home is connected and you all can focus on the important things in life. Enjoy the finer things in life in the Airtel HBB seasonal offer. Visit any certified Airtel shop to get a 4G MiFi at 9,999 naira plus up to 55 gigabyte bonus data, or router at 19,999 naira plus up to 160 gigabyte bonus data. Offer valid while stock lasts. Terms and conditions apply.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Hello there, this is Oyinlomo Barakat Kodri. I'm Nigeria's #1 female tennis player. You're listening to Now Sports on Radio Now 95.3 FM Lagos.
Welcome back. Definitely coming back from the adverts there, and of course going straight into other stories. Wolverhampton Wanderers goalkeeper Rui Patricio has completed a move to Roma. That's probably one of the biggest shocks for me in the transfer this season. Of course, He has left the Premier League club and is set to bring. They're set to bring in Olympiacos' Jose Sa as replacement for him. Although Wolves said Patricio's move was for an undisclosed fee, it is understood Roma have paid £10 million for the Portugal international. He's 33 years old, and I'm not sure whether Wolves got a good deal for that at £10 million.
33-year-old.
That's still very, very. That's still fine.
For a goalkeeper, yes.
It's not
for a goalkeeper. He's still got
for a quality goalkeeper. £10 million
£10
is actually cheap.
It's cheap.
It is cheap.
Really
It is
cheap for Patricio's stature.
Patricio is amazing. I mean,
that's the goalkeeper that came for Portugal at the Euros.
How well he does for Portugal, yeah.
Yeah,
and for Wolves, in fact,
he's done well for Wolves as well.
Amazing catch for AC Milan. Amazing business, but of course we know who
for Roma actually.
So good business right there by Jose Mourinho.
Okay, and Rafael Benitez has said he is not scared by the prospect of managing Everton, and insisted comments made about the club while as Liverpool manager were made a long time ago. The Spaniard became the first ex-Liverpool manager to take charge of Everton when signing a 3-year deal, while he is only the second manager after William Edward Barclay to have both clubs on his CV. This is a very, very big one. I just can't wait to see either Everton hosting Liverpool or Liverpool hosting. I think
it's always been the Messi side there.
I think if Liverpool, I think it's going to go both ways. Honestly, if he goes back to Anfield, I'm not sure the Anfield fans will really be happy about him, because they'll be like, if you truly have the love of Liverpool at heart, you would coach any other club but Everton, because you should know. Pretty much like an Arsenal, like Arsene Wenger leaving Arsenal to go coach Tottenham Hotspurs.
I mean, it would be crazy, but then
they'll have to bring all the police force in London.
It's been a long time though. Like, I mean,
but he made some comments. He called Everton small club. Are you kidding me?
It's not banter. It's football. It's not banter.
It's not banter. He actually made the
Daniel, can I ask you a question?
If you have a player like Sol Campbell literally moving across
Daniel,
it is. No reason why.
Do you know what Sol Campbell? Do you know what Sol Campbell went through? Do you know the threats he got? Do you know the letters that were posted to his postal address?
That's why now he's a Premier League winner.
Can I ask you a question?
Tottenham Hotspur still don't have a trophy.
They had trophies before. So leave that.
They
had trophies before.
They don't have a trophy. They don't have a trophy.
It was a long time.
In Premier League time, they do not have a trophy.
Who cares about Premier League time? How many does Arsenal have in Premier League?
Come on.
Just two.
Come on.
And you're making noise.
Just
two.
But Spurs have been consistent in
Chelsea that came to meet you have got more than that. Huh? Chelsea that came to meet you in the Premier League era. They got more than that. You always look for trouble and then you want to run away. Anyways, let's go on to other stuff. Lionel Messi has reached a verbal agreement on a 5-year contract extension at Barcelona. I am gutted about this, even though I'm a big Lionel Messi fan, with his salary to be reduced to 50% under the terms of the new deal. This just says a lot about. No, this says a lot about loyalty. I mean, if Messi is agreeing, because he knows that Barcelona are in financial, they're in dire straits now when it comes to finances, and he knows they cannot pay what they were paying before. And if he's going for pretty much half of what he was earning before, I don't think there can be any form of loyalty beyond that. Because if he goes to PSG or City, he will probably get what he was getting at Barcelona easily.
True.
The problem is I just do not know if this is the right kind of business for Barcelona. I know we've always talked about the fact that
for me, I expect Barcelona to be moving to the future.
We've always
they are stuck on Messi.
We've always talked about the fact that one of the major problems that Real Madrid faced immediately after Ronaldo was the fact that having to rebuild that team away from the center, which was Ronaldo. Now we are looking at Messi. We are looking at Barcelona going into the future. We know that Real Madrid,
and we have seen how Real Madrid have coped.
Real Madrid are slowly coming out of it.
Yeah, they after all finished second.
Slowly I think they've come out of their Griezmann center.
Griezmann was not even so influential.
Let's put a little bit of respect in there, right? And then you have a Barcelona who seem to not be able to move on from Messi being their center. And we saw how much they struggled last season.
But let's wait and see. Things can happen. It's a verbal agreement. It's not the permanent signing.
5 years.
Well, we'll see. It does look like Messi wants to sign. I think Messi wants to finish his career there, because he will be 40. He'll be 40.
And I don't think any club will want Messi at.
No, I don't think he wants to go to any other club with the way if what we're hearing is anything to go back.
He might play at Inter Milan.
Who will take him away?
Inter Milan.
Do you know what the buyout clause will be? MLS. Do you know how much Inter Miami will play for him?
Inter Miami,
Do you know how much they will pay?
His chance was when he had the free contract. When his contract expired.
How much was his buyout clause before?
See, Inter Miami will take Messi at 40 as a free agent, whether they like it or not.
40? Maybe for publicity. Maybe for publicity stuff. But he will be playing with a walking stick. I can tell you that.
And was dead.
He was not 40. And he wasn't dead. Messi will be playing with a walking stick at 40.
You never can tell if Ronaldo is still playing this active at 37.
Ronaldo and Messi are not on the same level when it comes to physical fitness. We all know that. Let's not even go there. Let's not go there at all.
Some admission, let's
no, can you finish your statement? Stop being scared of what you're saying. Say it clearly. Let's hear what you're saying.
Let's move on.
You saw the stats I sent you, Daniel, right? Okay, thank you very much. Anyways, Harry Maguire's father, Alan, suffered 2 suspected broken ribs before England's Euro 2020 final defeat by Italy. That's according to the defender himself. Fans fought with stewards and police as they attempted to break through the gates. Maguire's father, 56, was struggling to breathe after being trampled upon. I don't know whether he was involved in it, or probably was just a
stampede.
victim.
He was involved in the stampede, and you know there's this proverb that the Yoruba say: when you throw a stone in the market, you never know if your neighbor or your family member is in the market, and that was the case of Harry Maguire's father being involved in the stampede and everything that went down at the Wembley Stadium on Sunday. So well, hope he recovers fast, and England they should just know now that their hopes of hosting that 2030 World Cup is hanging on a very, very thin rope, because FIFA would definitely be on their neck for this one.
Okay, of course, let's go straight to the Olympics right now and talk about this. The first athletes arrived at the Tokyo Olympics 2020 village, which has officially been opened by organizers in Japan. Japan's capital city. National delegations have also been able to enter the village to prepare for the arrival of the respective athletes. And I must say, Nigerian officials are also part of the first set of people. And of course, the likes of Mary Onyali, who is the special advisor to the sports minister, one of them as well. Athletes were dropped off and entered the village at the location inaccessible to the media. In tennis, Wimbledon champion Novak Djokovic made it 329 weeks as world number 1 after collecting his 3rd Grand Slam of the year when the new ATP rankings were released on Monday. Djokovic, who has already pocketed the Australian French Open as well as Wimbledon, is almost 2,000 points ahead of Daniil Medvedev, who remains at number 2. And I hope Daniel sees the reason why I said he's probably the most sure banker to go beyond 20 Grand Slams. And of course, Roger Federer, we have already told you that. So we're all gutted right now. 2 major stars of the fading era. I'm talking about Serena Williams and Roger Federer will not be participating at the Olympic Games, and this is not really very, very nice.
It's really sad.
Really sad.
Really sad.
Okay, let's go straight into the discussion segment, and we're just opening the phone line straight away. 0901 111 1953. That's 0901 111 1953. You can also reach us on 0809 222 2953. 0809 222 2953. Our discussions for this evening is Sancho the fix Manchester United want at this point? I don't believe they have a problem, like I said. I think they just need to garner more of their efforts. They might need some quality players here and there, but I'm not sure whether the position Sancho is coming to fill, whether they really need somebody there, because they've got players like Greenwood, they've got a lot of other players.
But you can't place
behind the strikers
and Sancho side by side.
I know, but Greenwood has not done badly for Manchester United, and he will continue to grow as well.
He hasn't, but the quality of Sancho can't be compared.
Do they have to pay 73 million pounds to get a player?
They have to really.
What if Sancho comes and he doesn't deliver?
Major title, he will deliver. He will deliver. Going by the statistics, he will definitely deliver. Okay. And it's pacey. He can always.
Greenwood is pacey as well.
No, Sancho has got more pace than
Greenwood. The edge Greenwood has over Sancho? He uses both legs very lethally. Both legs very lethally. You can't say the same about Sancho.
Well,
Sancho is a one-footed player, but Greenwood can score on
he also uses his left, but is not as strong as the right.
Thank you very much. Anyways, the other discussion is about Lionel Messi apparently looking like he has, signed a new deal. It's actually not a new deal. He has signed because he was formerly a free agent. So he was not renewing any contract. He's now been signed by Barcelona. It's funny when a club that you played for is re-signing you again.
Yes.
And that's exactly the case with Messi, if it eventually comes to pass.
Verbally,
he has agreed to join Barcelona. Yeah, let me use that word, join Barcelona for 5 years. He's 35. It's just crazy. He's 34 going to 35.
35.
No, he's already clocked 35
He's
at
35
Copa
this
America.
year.
Okay, so let us know your thoughts on that. Do you think it's a good move for both sides, Barcelona or Messi as well? And then, of course, Jaden Sancho, do you think he's the fix Manchester United need to solve their problems? Let me first start. You've already started it, Susan. Let me go to Daniel. Do you think Jaden Sancho is the right man for them if they have to win the league?
I mean, I think that Manchester United have a couple of problems that I think I just think first of all misplaced priorities, right?
You think so?
Yeah, first of misplaced priorities. I think they're
Who do you think?
So the thing is for Manchester United, I do not think it's a who problem. It's not just one player that they need to bring into that squad to change things. So it's a mentality problem. I do not think that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the right coach for them. Yes, he finished second in the league, but I do not think that in terms of mental prowess, I do not think that he has that smartness to actually take Manchester United.
But let me tell you something that I do not think you may overlook. Sorry to actually jump into your discussion. First up, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the only coach in the Premier League that has beaten most of the top teams. When I say top teams, aside from Man United, all of the top 6 teams, he has had more wins than any other coach.
Yeah.
So when we say you don't think he has the smartness, how has he been able to? He beat Manchester City.
He hasn't won the league. He hasn't won any. He hasn't won the league. He hasn't won the league. He has lost every final that he has gotten to. I mean, but
he was able to beat some of these best teams.
But at the end of the day, do you have a trophy? That's what we're saying.
He needs to cut him some slacks because he's also rebuilding this
as
United
well. Yeah.
side. So
guys, let's just take this quick break and take this call. We'll be coming back to you guys. Hello there. Good evening. Hello. Good evening.
It has to be Blackwell.
Yeah, good evening. This is Stokes.
Hey, Stokes,
how are you doing? So Stokes just shamed you there, Daniel. Stokes, how's it going?
I'm good.
You should know it's Stokes. It's Manchester United we're talking about.
No, it was the network I was looking at. It was a little bit shady.
Okay, so
how are you doing today, Stokes?
Your thoughts, rather.
Well, I don't think it's.
I just hope that is not Stokes.
Okay. It's a very good player, but I think you still need a defensive holding midfielder. Someone like Ndidi or Declan Rice.
So you think you should be going for Wilfred Ndidi right now?
Yes, because if you look at the midfield, Man United cannot be playing with McTominay and Fred together. I want to win the league.
But Fred is a good defensive midfielder, isn't it?
He's a good, but he's not at that level whereby you can say you want to challenge for the league in like of Man City. You look, they are playing 2 defensive midfielders and they're playing. I think sometimes they play Pogba and they play.
Fernandes.
So you cannot play like that. That's 4.
Okay.
So it has to be one holding midfielder that you can play that 2. And you play your normal, they play with the wings, one right and one left. Okay. But if you see Man United doesn't have any person that is playing the right wing for a very long time, so I think Sancho is a good addition.
But Rashford has actually acquitted himself in that role, if you ask me.
But it's primarily left winger.
If you watch, he plays more of the left-hand side. He doesn't like coming on the right.
And Greenwood is usually played on the right most of the time.
Yeah, because to accommodate that side, because Rashford doesn't like playing there. But Greenwood is more of a finisher.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Okay, let's wrap things up with Barcelona. Your thoughts on that?
I know Messi is not going anywhere. People don't know that.
Why do you say that?
Because that shows from past that he's a Barcelona player and he's not ready to change. If he wants to go to another club, he has the chance, maybe not before this time out.
Yeah.
To speak in club. So it shows that he's just going to stick in there and going to retire there because it's 33 now, I think.
He's actually 34. I think he's 35 already. Yeah, because Ronaldo is 36, and I think he's about 2 years older than.
And you can see the pace is not there.
Yeah, but the dribble is still there. Did you see Copa America?
He was on fire.
That guy nearly killed Ecuador.
I think Copa America, this is either win or not, because he has tried, I think, 4 times without winning.
Yeah.
So this is like
Alexis Sanchez was responsible for him not winning 3.
It just has to not happen, If it doesn't happen this year, what year is it going to happen again?
No, he's not going to have it again. Thank you very much,
So this is just like the year. Okay. I sent you a message yesterday on Facebook. I don't know whether you guys saw it.
Oh, okay. I think we looked out for it, but we didn't get it early, so we'll probably go back there and check it again. Don't worry. We'll definitely give you that much deserved airtime.
I saw this. Amado Pinnick, I think. Is it Pinnick? I was saying that young players should not go to lower.
Yeah, he doesn't want them to go.
League like
We've talked about it on the show.
Our leagues are nothing to write home about. They're not paying players, and you think I don't know.
I think Amaju Pinnick was in over his head, and I'm sure that his advisors will be telling him that.
I don't know. Like our country, we hold this sense of justification. We want the best, but right here we're not giving the best.
Thank you very much. You know? Thank you very much.
So that's right.
Okay. Yeah, take care of yourself, Tooks. Okay, another caller on the line. Hello. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening.
Hey,
good evening. Sorry to keep you waiting. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hello, good evening. My name is Phil from Apapa.
Your name is what?
Phil.
Oh, Phil, how you doing, my brother? How you doing now?
I bless God. One of my friends, Daniel.
Hey,
he's right here. He's right here.
Philip, I said you should actually I was saying yes. I didn't know if you heard. I wanted you to text us on either Facebook or Instagram at Radio Now 95.3 FM. I said I wanted you to text. I wanted you to text us. At Radio Now 95.3 FM, either on Facebook or on Instagram.
Funny enough, I was attacked last month and my phone was taken from me. So
yeah, sorry about that.
I'm trying to get another one, so I'm just using my small Nokia phone to do this.
Yeah, sorry about that, my brother.
No problem. But I'll get in touch, don't worry. I'll get in touch.
Okay.
I'm a social media person, so don't worry about that.
Okay, nice one. We love that.
Let's get through.
Okay, now, Daniel, I'm not trying to discredit everything you said about England and the rest of that. Okay. The one thing I need you to understand is the fact that yes, nobody can discredit the achievement of Southgate because over the past 10 decades or 2 decades or so, no coach have done what Southgate have done.
Absolutely. Right.
And we must give credit to him for doing that. But if you place Southgate and Mancini on the table, of course, you know which someone is one of the people you made yesterday. But Mancini stands up, should have bowled Southgate any day, any time.
Okay.
And what I was trying to point out that very day is the fact that on the basis of tactical prowess, that very day, Italy were both England.
Yep.
There was no way you want to prove to me or justify the fact that England played better for 20 minutes because games are not won in under 20 minutes. Except you are tactically sound. And the tactics is being displayed by their team.
I get your point.
Okay, Philip, let me become the arbiter now. I think Daniel has gotten the point. Everybody has gotten the point. Oh yeah, let's talk about today. Sancho, is it the fix for Man United? Quickly now, and then Barcelona looks like they might have Messi back again for another 5 years. What are your thoughts?
If I'm being very honest with you, let me start with the Barcelona issue.
Yeah.
If I'm being very honest with you with the Barcelona thing, the agreement with Messi and the rest of that. I will go back to the statement Wenger made some years ago.
Yeah.
Towards Mourinho, saying that Mourinho is afraid of failure.
Yeah.
I don't talk about the response Mourinho gave him, that he's a master of failure and the rest of that. So just look at the statement Wenger made that Mourinho is afraid to fail. Yeah. And that's exactly what Barca are doing. And in making this kind of agreement, they are only soaking themselves into future failures.
Yes, I agree with you.
What they're doing now is just they're being afraid to fail, and what they're doing is just to shock themselves. I don't know. How do you explain that? Why can't you do it? Whether you fail or not, why can't you do it for the future?
Yeah.
Who knew how big or how great Barca would be before 92? Nobody knew about that.
Yes.
Even before Ika took over Barcelona, nobody knew about how strong or how great Barcelona can be.
Yeah.
You know the fact that they've used, some of the best players in the world have played there.
Yeah.
The names of Pescov and the rest of
Ronaldo,
that.
Rivaldo.
Komar, Romario and the rest of that.
Yeah.
But Ika brought the best out of that club, followed by Guardiola and the rest of that.
Yeah.
They should let Messi be in the past and move towards the future.
Yep.
Because what they're doing now, they're not giving opportunity to the younger players like Pedri and the rest of that. Because at the end of the day, everyone will look up for Messi.
And we saw how good Pedri was at the Euro 2020.
They're even having to sell off all these young guns just to keep Messi.
Each time I hear the discussion about Barca, Messi, I'll just shake my head and say, look, can you imagine a club?
Anyways, thank you very much, Philip. Thank you very much.
Then for Sancho, I think I will not say Sancho is a fix to Man United's problem. I think there's a problem actually.
Yeah.
But I will say Sancho is a quality addition to that team.
Thank you very much.
It all depends on whether
how Solskjaer makes use of him.
That's the point.
Thank you very much, my
brother.
Well
done for that. I'm sorry, please. I'm trying to get used to the feel in the studio. My apologies because I'm not acknowledged her enough.
No worries, my brother.
I'm Daniel's nightmare.
Anyways, Philip, thank you very much for joining us on this midweek edition of the show.
Quickly, just to get in my thoughts about Manchester United and what I'll just to round up real quick.
I actually held Susan up, but you have 30 seconds.
Right. So a couple of things. Let's look at Manchester United's defense. Right. We know that Harry Maguire has been a great influence on Manchester United, but I do not think that he's got the right partner. Lindelof is not the kind of defender that.
So you would have expected them to go for they are on course to get Rafael Varane, and I think if they get Varane, that would be big for them.
That's priority, right? That's one thing. I think they need a striker.
They've been given permission by Real Madrid to talk to
Manchester United that have a certain Martial as their only top 9 striker.
And Martial is not really a number 9.
And it's not really a number 9. Martial only got him 4 goals last season.
He plays better when he plays.
He only got him 4 goals last season, and he's been having a series of injuries. They are not thinking about that. Jaden Sancho is not going to play for you as a striker.
Sancho
you have
a
certain Rashford who will always try to play on the wing as well. So
I think it's time for Man United to actually put Rashford in that number 9 position.
Do you think
I think
that
he will do it.
You want to depend on Marcus Rashford?
I think he will do it. Let me tell you why I think he will do it. We had a player called Thierry Henry in Arsenal.
Yeah.
He started out as a winger from the left wing, and he ended up becoming the number 9 for Arsenal. Even though he's pretty much in false 9, but he ended up being the number 9. Same thing with Cristiano Ronaldo, who came into Real Madrid. Jose Mourinho gradually turned him into number 9, and we saw what he did. Right. Rashford will make mistakes, but I think he's got all the ingredients of a fantastic striker. He's pacey. He's very, very good with his feet. He can actually unlock any defense, and does his leg overs. He just needs to practice it more.
Yeah,
and you keep
it now depends on what League wants to play as a formation. If he doesn't get the right formation, then
that's why I think I do not think he might be able to utilize these players. I just do not think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the right.
He finished second though.
They are supposed to be Arsenal's academy in the league. But to be honest, I do not think that they deserve a coach like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
I think we need to cut him some slacks, and I think that he will come through later. Ferguson didn't start out being a very good coach.
Well,
he actually messed up his first 3 seasons.
United is a big team that should be winning trophies and contending in the Premier League and the
Champions League.
So he should be winning titles.
They contended for the league.
Who to me,
Daniel, let's wrap below standard. Thank you very much.
He's performing below
Mind
standard.
your club.
Trophies.
Mind your club. Tell which trophies. Which trophies?
You won the FA Cup.
FA Cup. That's a regular United to Arsenal because you won an FA Cup.
How many trophies are they winning?
FA Cup is a regular title for us.
Anyway, that's the end of the show because these guys will not get out of the studio, so I have to bundle them out. We've been really enjoying ourselves, especially with you guys calling in as well. And of course, we definitely call it a day on the show. And we'll be back again tomorrow morning, 6:25 a.m. And then, of course, you can join us at 11:05 a.m. as well for updates before the same show comes back at 6 p.m. And of course, Dan Akins has been with me, Double D himself, and Susan the prolific Amok Paloye. And my name is Niran Adesanya, signing off. Bye for now.